learn about to create a mastermind alliance. That's chapter number 73. So let's start. In this brilliant book, Think and Grow Rich, self-help pioneer Napoleon Hill advises reader to form a mastermind group if they aim to improve the quality of their lives and get what they want. He defines the mastermind alliance in these terms: coordination of power and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definitive purpose. Hill adds, no two minds ever come together in a spirit of harmony without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force, which they may be likened to be a third mind. Many of the successful people I personally coach and whom I have met in my seminars have told me that one of the single best thing they did to help them create both the business and personal life they want was to form their own mastermind alliance. In doing so, they not only developed a personal support network and create great friendships, they tapped into specialized knowledge and accumulate wisdom they ordinarily would never have had the access to. To form your own mastermind alliance, find three or four people you feel could learn from what you would get along well with the others of the group. The alliance is all about mutual benefit, so you must be able to give as much as you expect to receive. Approach your prospective members and arrange to start meeting once a week. Early morning meetings are the best as they force each member to show their commitment to the group. With the advances in technology, you no longer have to meet the person altogether. This will be important to do every so often. Telephone conference call, electronic communications, and even faxes will work. At the appointed time, discuss the challenges you are facing and ask for the group's input. Discuss the success principles and life lessons that have proved their effectiveness and time and again along with the ways to live with greater balance, fulfillment and inner peace. A mastermind alliance will not only cut your learning curve and in the game of life, it will help you have much more fun when you're playing it. Next lesson, lesson number 74, create a daily code of conduct. It is easy to live your life like a leaf in the fall wind, moving in whatever direction the wind blows that day. To create a great life, you must live more intentionally, deliberately, and passionately, so that you live on your own term rather than someone else's. The real challenge is that with so much to do, it is easy to allow life to act upon you and watch the days quickly slip into weeks and then months, finally into years. But I have a solution. In my own life, I have created what I call my daily code of conduct. It is simple, three paragraphs containing the values, the virtues, and the vows I have determined through much reflection that I need to live by in order to live my life to be a one fulfilling one. For example, part of this first paragraph states, over the next 24 hours, I vow to appreciate this day as it is all I really have and to use every minute wisely and fully. So much can be done over the next 24 hours to advance my life's agenda and to continue my legacy. I will through this day remember that this day could be my last and there is no great person ever died with their music still within them. My code then outlines my dearest values and vows as they relate my family, my community, and myself. Reading my daily code of conduct is at the very beginning of the day during the base camp period I described in an early lesson reminds me of the things that matter the most in my life and reconnect me to the highest priorities. Priorities that are so easily forgotten in the blur of daily events. After reading my code, I feel energized, committed, and ready to go out in the world with a renewed sense of purpose and focus. Creating your own daily code of conduct will do the same for you. Moving on to the next lesson, lesson number 75. Imagine a richer reality. Albert Camus once wrote, "In the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer." We really don't discover how powerful and resilient we are until we face some adversity that fills our minds with stress and our hearts with pain. Then we realize that we have within us the courage and the capacity to handle even the greatest curves that life may throw our way. Many of the men and women who attended my leadership seminars come to me after the session and reveal the challenges they face in their lives. Some speak of difficulties they have motivating their employees in these uncertain times. Others speak of their inner longings and the need to find greater sense of meaning and fulfillment through their work. And still, others ask me for advice on how to restore balance within their personal lives. My response always begins with the same lesson. To improve your lives, you must first improve your thinking. Or, as the old saying goes, we see the world not as it is, but as we are. Our great human endowment is the ability to reframe and reinterpret a difficult circumstance in a more enlightening and empowering way. Dogs cannot do this. Cats cannot do this. Monkeys cannot do this. The gift belongs only to us and is part of what makes us human. Blaming our circumstances for the way we feel is nothing more than excruciating ourselves. In handling any problem, we must have the courage to assume a measure of responsibility for whatever situations we are in, and then realize that we have the capacity to use the setback of our advantage. Life's greatest setbacks always reveals life's bigger blessings. Moving on to the next lesson, become the CEO of your life. It is, if it is going to be, it's up to me, is a wonderful mantra. I recently read in a newspaper that fully 10% of the population is betting that they will win the lottery to finance their retirement. Too many people are leaving the quality of their futures to chance rather than to choice. It reminds me of the habit that my brother has had as a kid. When he saw that a glass was about to fall off the corner, rather than rushing to save it from falling, he would cover his ears with his hands so that he could not hear the smash of that glass falling. He had since grown up and become a Harvard trained eye doctor. So his unique habit does not appear to have held him back that much. This anecdote's point of wisdom is simply this: we need to keep our ears and eyes open to the realities of life. If we don't act upon the life and take action to make things happen, it will act on us and give us the results we might not want. This is one of the nature's law that has governed humanity for thousands of years. To become more proactive during the weeks ahead, begin to see yourself as the chief executive officer of your destiny, the CEO of your life. All effective CEOs realize that if it is going to be, it's all up to me, and act as the catalyst of their own dreams. Similarly, if you want something done, rather than waiting for luck to look at you, take steps to get it done. If there is something, someone you know could help you solve the problem and seize the opportunity, pick up the phone and call him or her. Remember, you can make excuses or you can make the progress, but you cannot do both. When I was practicing law, I made a 45-minute journey on a commuter train to my officer in a downtown tower. Every day, a man would sit in front of me who I came to see as a model of the become the CEO of your one life principle. Instead of sleeping or daydreaming the most like the most of the people in that train, the man decided to use his 45 minutes to exercise. From the moment he sat down until the moment we arrived in the station, he would do the arm stretches, neck rolls, and a series of rigorous exercise to improve his health. Rather than joining the legion of people who complain they don't have enough time to work out, he took matters into his own hands and took charge of the opportunity. Sure, he looked like a silly man, but who cares about what others think when you know what you are doing is the right thing, that is what you are doing. Seeing yourself as the CEO of your life can create a fundamental shift in a way you perceive your world. Instead of sailing through life as a passenger, you can become the captain of the ship, leading things in the direction you choose to move rather than reacted to the whim of the changing tides. As you take greater control of your life, reflect on the William James inspiring words. Humankind's common instinct for reality has always held the world to be essentially a theater for heroism. Next lesson number 77, be humble. One of the traits I respect most in people is humility. The tree that has the most fruits is the tree that bends to the ground. My father taught me as I was growing up, and thoughts and through there are some exceptions. And though there are some exceptions, I have found that my own experience is that it is true. The person who knows the most, who have achieved the most, and who have lived the most are the people who are closest to the ground. In a word, they are humble. There is something special about being in the presence of a person who is humble. Practicing humility shows that you respect others and reminds us that there is so much yet to be learned. It sends a signal to those around you that you are open to receiving the gifts of their knowledge and listening to what they have to say. I have the privilege to meet many famous people in my life. One of my biggest thrill was meeting the world champion boxer Muhammad Ali. Contrary to the cocky and loud image he cultivated in the media, in person he was a true gentleman and the very model of humility. When I had good fortune to meet him in Los Angeles, he asked me more questions about me than I asked questions to him. He spoke softly and radiated the warmth and decency that spoke volumes about the man he is. Muhammad Ali taught me that the more you are as a person, the lesson you need to improve yourself, the lesser you need to prove yourself to others. You are done. Thank you.